Yo, welcome to the Level Up Podcast. I am Ron OG.
Black Pino J.
And this is the
Level Up Crew.
As you can now notice probably that Sir Esters is out of the building for today's podcast. Where is he?
Chasing pyramids.
Yeah, supposedly in Egypt. So if you see him
riding the Sphinx, sliding down a pyramid,
climbing
call
at the
the
top
authorities.
the authorities are waiting for him. So anyway, but in this place we have a special guest host. This is a good friend of ours. Good friend of the walking IMBD. We call him Brett the Man. So say what's up, Brett.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
So we all worked together in the past. And Brett, just tell the audience a little bit about yourself and let's get things going.
Well, he calls me the walking IMDb because I'm all about the movies. I study everything that I watch. I used to make movies when I was young, if you want to call it that. Making movies.
You should have pursued that. I think.
Well, that was the plan originally.
All right.
Hey,
Things got off
All right.
course.
So,
shit happens.
yeah, things happen. Shout out your Instagram because, you know, he's single. And ladies, you can slide in them DMs.
If you want to follow somebody that only posts pictures of their dog, it is still Brett13. STILLBRETT 13.
Ooh,
Hey,
spelled
ladies
it
like
out
the
and
dogs,
everything.
though.
They like that.
Ladies like the puppers.
Ooh, they like
so.
the puppy. So, all right, let's get this show on the road.
What you got? What you got?
Nothing really. There's lots going on. Last night, well, the night before, Eminem dropped a new album. So I was pleasantly shocked about that.
I am shocked because I'm just now hearing about this.
Yeah, so we're still checking it out. Maybe on the next episode we'll get that, get the review on that. But so far, what I listened to so far, it's really good. Other than that, not a lot has been going on. I know for my man Brett and I, we work at the same spot, but someone actually walked out out in the middle of the run.
Can't take it.
Hour and a half into the shift.
That part,
Just,
and
just said fuck it.
they just said, fuck it, 2 tears in the bucket. I'm gone.
She found out at the beginning of the run that her W-2 was in.
That
said,
part. Yeah.
I got cash!
I got cash, bitch. I'm out. But it was interesting because by the next run, it was running, and then it was like, where's so-and-so? And it was like, dang, she gone.
Her boyfriend left, too.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, she went by and picked up the boyfriend, too. He worked there.
He wasn't about to let her stay without him.
No.
He keeps her on lockdown.
Nigga,
Yeah.
if you want this butt, you better come with me. Man, you know how she get. I gotta go.
But that brings up an interesting topic as we're going to roll into this. Have you guys ever walked out of a job, and why, and what job was it? We're going to go with the man, Brett, first. Tell us about your experience.
The only time I ever did that was when I was 14. It was my first job.
Man, is that legal?
Maybe I was 15. I think it was 14. Maybe it was
So we
15.
working in the Nike factory.
No, I know. I'm sorry. All right, keep going, man. My bad.
It was at Witt's Barbecue. I was trying to save up money for my first car. Worked about 2-3 hours, and I said, nope. Man, this ain't the job for me. I cut my finger open on a can of beans. And I dipped out.
But what was so bad about it?
I wasn't ready to work yet, man. I was
14,
Yeah,
man.
14. You're not ready to work.
I'm not even trying to think about
Still
work.
got your mama's milk on your breath.
Damn.
Well, y'all don't do that anymore?
That's a Game of Thrones reference.
Oh yeah. And then that was at what place was this?
Witt's Barbecue.
Witt's. So
Well, my sister's boyfriend worked there, and he got me the job. So maybe they were breaking some rules.
that was the only job you ever walked out on?
I was a bartender for 14 years before I started where I'm at now, and I'm pretty sure I walked out of a job there once when somebody pissed me off. You know.
No, but it's never been as bad as Witt's, right?
No.
It has been Witt's level. Witt's level bad.
All right. What about you, Black Appeal J?
Man, Burger King.
For real?
I worked there I gave it a solid half week. And just because when I went there, I'm thinking, all right, this is just temporary. And
How old were you?
I was just out the Army. And I was just looking for work.
Right.
So I'm working at this Burger King, and I'm thinking in my head, why the fuck am I in here? I'm looking at these other dudes. These dudes, half these people look like they're drugged out. And we're sliding these patties through this little conveyor belt that gets fed to like this. That's where they get the char grills, like this flame machine.
Yeah, is there really an open flame?
Yeah, in the machine.
Okay.
So you were a cook.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm looking, and I'm sliding these frozen patties through, and I'm like, man, my life is going in the gutter, and this is just temporary. And then I said, fuck, I'm out. And then I cut out on my lunch break.
And you didn't look back. You didn't tell anybody. You just
Hell no, it's fucking Burger King.
Did they call you and text you and try to say, hey, what happened? What goes?
I think they knew.
Oh,
It probably happens a lot at Burger King.
Yeah, they probably knew. They're like, I don't think he's coming back. That Samoan fella, I don't think he's coming back.
Well, yeah, I've had plenty of jobs myself, so I think the one job that just really, I don't know, just fucked me up. Period was UPS. Sorry, UPS, but that wasn't
Please
happening.
deliver my stuff on time.
Yeah, because I think, see, what happened was,
Here it goes. Here it goes.
this was right. I think this was like right after my divorce. And I was fat as shit. I'm still kind of fat, but anyway, that's another story. But I was super fat, out of shape. I was working in the office, but I need another second job to try to get pad it up a little bit. So I called myself going to, UPS. Anyway, I get in there and they had me unloading these trucks, and I got through, I started unloading, and I was...
Well, they only give you 4 hours a night, don't they?
Yeah, I couldn't even last an hour in one truck. It was hot.
Oh, you didn't make it through a whole shift.
I made it through the whole truck, and there was a guy over me yelling and screaming, hurry up, move faster, keep the box back in the back.
Damn.
And it was like
Was he beating a big drum at the same time?
Yeah,
Like, boom, boom, boom.
yeah, dude, they were killing my fat ass. And afterwards, I was just out of shape. I said, and then for the second run, they said, all right, you have a little 5-minute, 10-minute break. Then you get into the next truck to get unloaded. I said, I'll be back. I gotta get some water.
Oh, no, somebody did.
Yeah, that's what
you did. The equivalent of I'm gonna go get a pack of cigarettes to your child.
And they still wait for me to get that water to come back. What happened?
He's gonna come back without water.
And I dipped out, man. Skirt. I was gone, man. I said, never again. I was like, golly. That job killed me. I was like, I think I could handle it a little bit now, but at the moment, I was delusional.
See, my little brother, he used to work at UPS, and he used to tell me all these horror stories. And he lost a gang of weight though, because it's as hot as it's a hot box that you're working and lifting and shit. He told me there's always people. You probably worked with them for that day or whatever, how long you stayed in there. He said there's a lot of people that they'll work and then they'll just leave.
Yeah,
they just can't handle it.
Well, see, you got something to say?
Well, I was going to work there before I started where I'm at now, and I went to the orientation, and they make it sound like, eventually you can move up and get all these good positions, but they said you ain't even getting off the loading dock until 10 years into working there.
Here in Nashville, it's different than where it is everywhere else because you can actually move up a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
But I found out here it's like that. It takes a long time to move up. And see, the whole thing about it was I thought I could handle it because I started out with FedEx when I was in college. And I moved myself up into different levels. Mm-hmm. And I could handle it. Well, I've been out of school for a while, and I just was delusional thinking, oh, man, I got this. I work with FedEx. Nah, nigga. My fat ass had to dip out. But
see, when I used to work with you guys, me and Brett, we trained together.
Okay.
And when we trained, it was like we had to do 3 days of unpaid training.
You talking about before you knew you were hired on?
Oh yeah. And it was just a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I did that too.
They make it seem like only the best of the best are getting hired, and then the last minute, all y'all got a job.
Coming like Oprah. Yeah. Everybody look under your chairs. And you got a job. And you got a job.
But I think we're all pretty good right now as far as we have leveled up our game. We're still trying to level up because I want more in life, and that's what this podcast is all about. We got to really start focusing more on leveling up on game. We've been bullshit past couple of podcasts, but it's just we're trying to get the feel for everything. So for me, I'm trying to get somewhere different. I want to do something more creative. My boy, Black Opino J, man, I get your name right. I'll get that.
The goddamn shame.
I know. But he's...
I'm half Asian.
But he's moved up. I'm happy for him. He's actually using his education for use. And I'm trying to encourage my boy Brett here to get back into filming. And he's
I've actually been thinking about it. I mean, not making my own stuff anymore, but after when I was looking into going to film school and everything, I would volunteer over at the Watkins Film School, and they're constantly doing student projects and stuff. So I would volunteer just to help on those films and everything. And I've actually been thinking about trying to go back and start volunteering.
Just do it, man.
You should,
It's
man.
just a
Do
fun
it
process, man.
because we know you. And like, damn, this dude is crazy about film, and he knows everything about everything. He's like, man, what's that one? Blah 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 blah. Golly, he knew before I even knew. I was gonna. So, I think your passion for it will make, it will level him up because you will have that much more love for it. But
When I work with you guys, like a lot of times, me and Brett were like right across from each other.
right.
And the stuff that he would tell me about, like projects that he did, and I would always wonder, like, man, I said, dude, you should just keep going. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, hell, I'm still, I love drawing, I love doing graphic design, but I'm still doing this shit.
Yeah,
And just, I think a lot of times it's all in your head.
it
It's
is.
a mindset thing.
Well,
so.
the thing about movie making, though, is it's not something you can just do on your own. You have to have several other people involved in the process. So if I'm out of the loop, I can't just I can't just make a movie by myself. I have to
But
have
you have to. Well, I look at it like this: you have to start somewhere. And for my suggestion for you is, buy a little camera. You got your online editing programs, and just teach yourself. YouTube has everything on it.
Shit, man, they're filming feature films on iPhones
I was
now.
just about to say it.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it's always easier when you can help someone else from your perspective, but then you look at yourself like, damn, look at me. I ain't doing shit either.
After this show, we should all really talk about that and maybe like do that as a project on the side or something.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because I've made not films, but video and stuff in the past, and I know how to do all the editing and the shots and all that stuff, so I'm familiar with it. So
I would be really interested in making something now because the technology is so much better and easy to get to than when it was when I was young.
It is.
I mean, you can do the editing on your iPhone. I had to buy all this equipment that back when I was doing it, nobody was making movies like that. You had to buy these real like analog equipment and everything.
Like a real type.
Yeah,
of
everything you can do everything on your own now. With probably less than $1,000, you can make a film.
Well, if you guys want to help me out, we'll get something filmed.
Yeah, we worked that out. I'm down.
It's called YouTube. They know everything.
Level up the movie.
Just make a movie about a hero who loves spam.
There you go. This is the thing I
I'll
love
be
about
that guy.
YouTube. This thing I love about it. Anytime someone asks me, "Do you know how to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, wink, wink, I do." And I'm running to the house and look YouTube how to.
Yeah, when I would freelance, because even when I was working with you guys, I would freelance on the side, and somebody would like, "Hey, I'm trying to get a banner for a web page." Yeah, I could do that. Now I have to go straight to LinkedIn, at lynda.com or whatever, or I'll go to my to school resources and see what I need to do, and then I got you. I got
that's
you.
You got to fake it till you make it.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
But
Just on Juicy Smollett, that shit. Don't fake it that hard.
Oh, jeez.
I don't care for much of that dude.
I have no opinion on this.
There you go.
The neutral party.
So, Black Opinion J, do you have any subjects you want to speak on, or?
Your thoughts on the Morbius trailer?
Oh yeah.
We'll start off with Brett.
Well, I'm just excited that it's being linked to the MCU. You see Spider-Man in the background in one of those images.
No, I'm not.
You don't want that? I want Venom to be connected to Spider-Man. This is the first step towards that.
No, you're breaking my heart.
Why?
Brett,
This is
There
shocking.
should be no Venom without Spider-Man.
Venom.
There's no
Venom. I didn't like Venom. No, hold on. Let me
on,
rephrase it. Just like I felt about the Joker. I hated that I liked it because it's not Venom. It's not Brett, you know the Venom story,
Right.
And how Spider-Man, the Secret Wars, Spider-Man, his suit's all beat the fuck up. He needed a new suit. Boom. Few storylines down,
Right.
You got Venom. This one, they're like, we're just going to start from scratch. Venom came through a NASA spaceship, whatever the fuck that is. Eddie Brock doesn't even know who Peter Parker is. They went straight to the Lethal Protector story.
Exactly.
And that's why I didn't like it.
I think that throws a lot of people off because we were expecting that connection to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I was expecting that the spider on it.
Yeah.
So I gave it a chance.
And he got these weird penis lines, little weird penis veins on his chest. I don't like that.
But I think in the future, he's gonna be inspired by Spider-Man, and that the spider is going to come on.
Well,
That's
I'll say this. The first time I saw it, I was like, all right, this is cool because it was so much better than the Sam Raimi Venom.
Yeah.
It really
fair
made it
point.
a lot better.
Yeah.
That's
but
fair.
then I went back and watched it again, and I was like, oh, this is garbage.
it's
the CG at the end of it when the two Venoms
yeah.
fight
That was
each
a
other.
mess.
Yeah.
That was a hot
Yeah.
mess. That
See, at first I liked it because he looked like, it was no Sam Raimi, like, crackhead Venom thing going on. He was like a big ass,
Right.
muscular.
And you gotta love Tom Hardy.
yeah.
Yeah,
he's
and it's
tall
Tom
as
Hardy,
shit,
and I
so-
wanted to like it because I like Tom Hardy, except for Bane. We'll talk later.
I like Bane.
We have our differences.
You gotta do your Bane impression at some point.
I was raised on fire. But it was such a big departure from what I was accustomed to. I'm a purist,
I agree.
and then when I see this Morbius trailer, it's checking off everything right. For me, it feels like it's mixing both the story from the Spider-Man the animated series and the comics, because in the animated movie in the cartoon, it was he was this handsome scientist dude, but he has a health problem,
Right.
and he's
Blood disease or something.
yeah, it's a blood disease, and he's trying to get with Felicia Hardy, but Spider-Man likes Felicia Hardy, and then he does experiment on himself, and then boom, he's Morbius. This one he looks sickly like he did in the comics, like a sickly polio-looking dude,
Right.
and he does the experiment on himself. But then after he transforms, he still looks like this handsome dude. Cause Jared Leto's a handsome dude. Just make this motherfucker look all gangly and shit, and jump on people. But he's still got his same complexion. He's leaping on niggas. He got muscles and shit. I don't know.
But I like it's a little bit darker than
It is.
I like that part of it, and it's not as campy. It doesn't look that way. But I'm gonna give it a chance. I was iffy about it at first too, but I like the trailer.
It looks to me like
It
it's
looks
a step in the
interesting.
right direction to get Venom to where we want him to be.
I think that's where they're
'cause they're all gonna be
heading. I think
connected.
it's gonna be like the dark side of the Spider-Man,
See,
Spider-Verse and stuff.
I would like it because we've all probably heard the rumors about how Kevin Feige's trying to find a way to write Spider-Man out of the MCU.
Well, that's what they were saying at first. Now they're kind of going opposite ways on that and saying
think
that it's
so?
all going to be. Last I heard, it was
Yeah,
never
because
integrated at all.
now he's got another film. He's got
There's
another
Spider-Man 3 in 2020.
another
right?
solo film, and then they got another. He can do another cameo in one of their other movies too.
Yeah.
I think they've renegotiated all of that, and
You think so?
I think that's from one of the articles I read. It said that they were trying to bring it all together.
Why don't they just buy Spider-Man rights back from Sony?
10
Sony
billion.
ain't giving that up, man.
They got Disney has the money.
See, if Marvel hadn't helped them out to do like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure they would have sold
Yeah,
rights to
probably.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But because Tom Holland is a good ass, he's the best Spider-Man since what's dork face dude? I want to say the fucking Elijah dude from Lord of the Rings. What's his name?
I don't know.
Peter Parker, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire.
Oh, Tobey Maguire, yeah.
I like Toby, but I like the other guy
In the
better.
first and
I
second
I like
Spider-
Andrew Garfield,
Yeah, I like
too.
Andrew Garfield better.
Now he had the look, but
Yeah.
he couldn't pull it off.
I don't know. See, there's things about all the different Spider-Mans that I like, but the only one that's really, I think, really came together right was the MCU Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Because
amazing.
there's a lot of connective tissue that they just started from the jump.
Yeah, and the thing is, when Spider-Man was first announced for the MCU, and they showed the trailer, I just wasn't. I didn't have a lot of faith in it, and I seen it. I was like, oh my god, that's like one of the best Spider-Man movies ever.
With the MCU Spider-Man? With
Yeah,
the Homecoming?
Homecoming and all of them.
Oh, I love
Well,
it.
it's Civil War first. You know,
Yes.
when
Yeah,
we first saw
but
Spider-Man.
when Homecoming, I was like, I don't know.
You didn't like that?
No, at first when I heard about it and I
Oh,
see the
I see.
trailer,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know because I didn't really have a lot of faith in.
I thought
MCU,
Spider-Man,
so-
the first Spider-Man in MCU was the perfect
Yeah.
Spider-Man movie.
Because it felt it was more ground level superhero, like in over his head type of story.
Had just the right amount of humor in it.
Yeah. It was I think that was like the
But
best
the
Spider-Man.
Morbius trailer, it looks decent. I'll probably go to the theater and see it. It's like one of those. So
I'm gonna see it
I
for
want
sure.
to see it. And then,
I'm a goddamn putz. I'm gonna watch it anyways because
Right.
it's Morbius, and oddly enough, I kind of like the character. I hated when I watched the end of that trailer, and then you said, Dr. Morbius, you're not being a good guy. And then I look, and it's Michael Keaton. I'm like, fuck.
It's all connected.
I know, and I was thinking, well, maybe he's, because you see flashing lights in the background. So I was like, maybe he's an ambulance EMT dude. And then I pop open my Far From Home. I mean my Homecoming disc, and then I'm looking at it. I was like, fuck, it is him.
It is him. Yeah,
he got the same white jumpsuit.
Well, they're supposed to be building towards the Sinister Six.
I heard.
Yeah.
So
well, they were supposed to do a separate movie.
Well, that shit's changed so many times now.
It's
hopefully for the better.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I'm hopefully optimistic.
So that's our thought on Morbius. Now, what's next? What else you got?
All right, it's a new documentary, or maybe a docuseries. It's on Netflix. It's about Aaron Hernandez.
Yes.
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either. I was gonna started watching it early this week, and I just hadn't got time.
I was too under the weather.
But it looks good, bro.
I started it. I watched about half of an episode, and it looks like it's very well made.
Really?
My thing is, I just got done listening to a podcast series on the whole Aaron Hernandez thing, so it's still pretty fresh in my mind. But I'm gonna get around to watching it.
So it looks really good. Everybody's been really talking about it.
That's my homework for today is like to watch that, because I saw the headline for it, and I remember like shit. We used to joke about that shit. Like, dude, what? This motherfucker thought he was goddamn drug kingpin shooting his friends in the face, executioner style, and then it was a whole lot more stuff because
there's so much more than what you think you know about it. Like his other murders that he was involved in.
Serious? Yeah. It's like on the surface level, you just think it's just some dude that from the hood, and he's living it big. He's trying to make himself bigger than what he is, but it goes way back and it's way deeper. Like his whole mind is all.
Let me give a shout out to Netflix. They killing the game right now,
and
with the documentaries and keeping this content on their shows. It's great. They spending billions, bro, on keeping these shows going.
Irishman, shit.
Yeah, the Irishman.
Still haven't watched. It's
what?
3 hours, man.
That's one of the best movies of the year.
It might take a couple of days to get through it.
Yeah, it took me.
it
took me like 2.5 days.
And that's why I'm like, do I really want to just put this time in? There's no.
Just do it. It's worth
There's
it,
a couple of things you're gonna have to let go, like when they're supposed to be young Robert De Niro, but he's still moving around like he's 80-year-old Robert De Niro.
or the curb stomp.
Yes.
You'll see that scene.
It's supposed to be they keep calling him the kid, but you're like, no, that's an old man.
Oh shit.
But yeah.
All right.
Get around to it.
I keep saying I'm gonna do
bro.
it, man. I am. It's just 3 hours, man. I'm like,
I know.
3.5, isn't it?
Yeah, 3.5.
And there's no like hobbits involved. If it's 3 hours, I can throw a fucking hobbit.
You have to be in the right mindset.
Now, did you like Goodfellas and Casino and all those?
I like Goodfellas. I vaguely remember Casino because I was a little dude.
See, I'm a Scorsese freak, man. I've watched all of his old movies.
And that's all the actors that was in his movies are in this movie. And hell, my dad is telling me you should watch The Irishman. Blah 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 blah.
Well, you're never gonna see De Niro and Pesci and Al Pacino in a movie together again.
You think so?
Never. Pesci, they had to break his balls just to get him to do this movie. He didn't want to do anything. Like, they came to him like 10 different times, and he finally said yes.
For real?
Yeah, he wouldn't.
So he was Bill Murraying the fuck out of that shit.
The makeup was amazing in it, so I have no complaints about that movie.
Yeah,
one or two things.
I didn't feel like it was 3.5 hours.
No, it doesn't feel like
This is when you see it on there, man.
I know,
it's
right?
daunting at first, but
and very intimidating. You know,
I feel like I'm in school and the teacher's like, "Hey, you got to read The Kill a Mockingbird." I'm like, "Man, it's all these pages. How come it just can't be like a comic book? I can just flip through it and just watch the Hulk just punch somebody in the goddamn chest." I'll give it a try, but
give it a try.
Jesus Christ, 3 hours, man.
Just give De Niro some superpowers or something.
Yeah, the powers of youth. I don't know.
And they still didn't pull that off.
You can't be taking. I got this dildo mic. You can't be
Yeah,
taking.
like that. Everybody like the red dildo mic.
No, we don't.
No,
The Red Rocket.
I like that robot dick.
The Red Rocket.
Ooh, and it vibrates too, right?
No, I can't shake it. Can't shake this mic. It's $100 mic.
That part.
Facts. So, all right, since we got Brett in the house, what do you think about the Ghostbusters sequel?
Oh, shit, I'm excited about that because they're supposed to be
I'm
going
pumped.
back to the roots.
Yeah.
You got Ivan Reitman's son doing it.
Exactly.
And then Reitman's going to be producing it too. The original cast supposed to be in it.
At first, when I first saw the trailer, I was thinking, it's gonna be like the other Ghostbusters, like the with all girls, which I actually liked it.
Right.
I thought the all girls Ghostbusters was cool.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Hey man, it's 2020.
It wasn't as good as the other Ghostbusters, but it was good.
It was the dance
I
number.
haven't seen it, but
The
I just
musical
won't-
number.
I won't see it.
They could have done without
You
that.
can't
musical
speak on it if you haven't seen it.
Yes, I can.
number. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
You
Man,
got all the original Ghostbusters
I'm
doing
being
cameos.
prejudiced against it.
No.
It just
You're
looks
sexist, what you
terrible.
mean.
Is that sexist?
Mm-hmm.
It just looks
I'm
terrible.
reporting you.
Is that bad?
I'm gonna report you.
Oh, don't.
Ron is canceled.
Report and
Yeah,
block.
this is cancel culture, so
Yeah, but
it just doesn't look good. I'm like, oh,
it's all right. It's all right. But this new Ghostbusters, when I don't know who's narrating. It's somebody's narrating in the background, and then you see the kids from like the one dude from Stranger Things. I can't think of it. Steppenwolf, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
remember
His
exactly.
But
we know who you're talking about.
and he's like, oh yeah, they're Ghostbusters. They used to hunt ghosts in the '80s, and it actually showed Bill Murray and Harold Ramis like going into Ecto-1. I was getting pumped.
It looks really good.
See, we're not
so.
gonna have Ramis in this movie.
I
That's what
know
sucks.
that's
Why?
He's
he
dead.
died.
Man, it shows how much I know about movies.
Well, and
Don't judge me.
Shaking my head, shaking my damn head. In Egon, when Harold played Egon, he made nerds cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't like your nerdy. They gotta get the algorithm. Blah, blah, blah. He would talk his nerdy shit, but
He was
then
a confident nerd.
exactly, and he would talk the science shit, and then he'll flip it to English so that way Ray can understand what the fuck he's talking about, or Peter, and that I think that's gonna be really missed. I'm thinking maybe that's Paul Rudd's character might be.
See, my worry is they're still going to be down. The original Ghostbusters are still going to be the amount of like a cameo. It's not going to be focused on them. Is
Yeah.
my worry, and I want it to be about them.
And Bill Murray's not gonna be in there at all.
He's not in it at all.
I don't
I
think
thought they
so.
said all the original was coming back.
That's what I heard, but there was one article that I read, and every time I read these articles, I take it with a grain of salt. But I don't think he's involved involved with it at all. I think Dan Aykroyd is in it. I don't know about Ernie Hudson, which I would assume he'll be in it because he was in the last one too.
Well, they say Bill Murray is like the hardest person to pin down. He doesn't have an agent. You have to like go through all these hoops to get to him to just
For
try
real?
to get him in a movie. Yeah,
Like a national treasure adventure just to get a hold of this motherfucker.
something like that.
Have you seen that? It's made by the same guys who did the Toys That Made Us. It's called The Movies That Made Us.
Yes, I watched all of them.
I haven't watched the movies who made us, but I
It's
have.
good,
watched-
man.
good.
Really?
It gives you a lot of like behind the scenes information.
See, they
The
talk
toys,
about
The toys
Ghostbusters
that
too.
made us is.
The Die Hard
I really
one is
love all
really
that
good.
stuff.
Man, yes.
Really?
Yeah, and surprising enough, the Dirty Dancing episode,
That's the only one I didn't watch.
and I didn't want. I said, man, this is not my wheelhouse. I hated Dirty Dancing as a
Dude,
kid.
I grew up with a house full of women, and my sisters used to make me watch that movie all the time. So it's like, I'm afraid it's gonna give me flashbacks.
Time of our lives. But that one scene, it's the big scene they showed in the trailer and all the time. Fucking
The Lift.
the lift and when
And
when
that's
Kurt
when
Russell
the
jumped.
water dumps on her.
No, that's Flashdance.
That's Flashdance.
Damn, see, I got.
Mixing up the dance movies, man.
I'm like, all those movies came out around the same time, right?
When Kurt Russell jumps off the stage to start off the dance, like when he's dancing for
Did you
real.
say Kurt Russell?
That's it, Kurt Russell.
Patrick
See,
Swayze?
Patrick Swayze,
See,
my bad.
look,
Dude, I get him mixed up like I get Bradley Cooper and and Matthew McConaughey. I always get those two motherfuckers.
Blasphemy. Kurt Russell is so much better than Patrick Swayze.
Ladies
I'm
and
sorry.
gentlemen, we have Brett the Walk IMBD.
And I'm glad he's here. He keep me in check. Patrick Swayze, my bad.
Correct yourself.
He's about to hit me, guys. I'm in terrible danger.
He knows his shit,
But when
folks.
when Patrick Swayze jumps off of the stage, he actually like they wanted the perfect take of him doing it, and he kept doing it. And at one point he rolled his ankle. This fucker did this shit anyway. And the one scene that he did, he jumps off and like he kicks his leg to the side or some kind of weird shit. He did that with his rolled ankle. And when I saw that, I was like, damn. He was like, fucking Jackie Chan of dance movies, and then the lift part. There was like so many takes for that. It was that series. It brings so much to light that you never knew would happen.
Right.
So I actually like that series. I hope they keep that going too, like they did towards the Tomatoes.
Well, like the Die Hard one, it tells all about how it was a fight to get Bruce Willis in that movie. They didn't want him because he wasn't a name, and he was known for Moonlighting, the TV show and everything. And like the actual first poster that came out didn't even have Bruce Willis on it. It was just Nakatomi Tower. And then after it came out and was doing big, then they added his face to the poster, and then that's when he blew up.
I remember
after that.
Moonlight came on, and I hated that show.
Because that was like a comedy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
I watched it, but I have no memory of it.
I had no memory of that either.
I remember that.
Because when I was watching the movies that made us, and they said, yeah, Bruce Willis was in I was like, what? No.
Yeah,
He had to be. He's too cool for this shit. Can't be in this. No, this is insanity. But yeah, that was true, bro. I was like, what the fuck? It's craziness. Yeah. But you got to watch that series, man.
It's good.
I'll watch it. I saw it and I was like, I'm into something else right now. I'm still trying to finish up my series of Forensic Files. I'm on a binge here now. I think I'm sorry to say, I think I'm through episode 80 now.
Damn.
I'm ashamed. Yes.
Of what?
Forensic Files.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't watch
I
that.
listen to so many true crime podcasts.
I just love crime solving and what, how it all starts out, how the smallest little things could turn into the biggest thing later. And it's like Forensic Files is my show. When they put it up on Netflix, I was like, I started from the very first one and I'm going through them right now.
See, that's how it was when I finally dipped my toes in watching Breaking Bad.
Oof.
See, you know what?
I've been on you about this,
I
man.
have never seen an episode of Breaking
to
Bad.
watch it.
And everybody keeps telling me how good
and now it
because that
wraps
new
up
movie
real good.
came out and that movie looks good and it's on my list. So
Is
it really good?
Everybody says.
But when does it really start getting good in the series?
Okay, the very beginning, sure, it's a little slow,
right?
But just stay through it a couple of episodes, and then it just starts getting crazy.
It gets real crazy.
All right.
Because I got into it, I want to say maybe 3 seasons in.
Yeah.
And then everybody was telling me, "Do you need to watch Breaking Bad? You're stupid. You're an idiot. You need to be watching Breaking Bad." So I was like, "Fuck it, fuck y'all. I'm gonna watch it." And I was like, "Fuck, this is fucking good."
That was the same way with. Now it's kind of taper off a bit. That was the same way when everybody was telling me about The Walking Dead. Like the first 1 or 2.
I got sick of that shit.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to end that. But like, in the 3rd season, I started watching. I'm like, oh my god, this is great.
It was great until about the 7th season.
Then they fell off a little bit lately. So
and
it's time for them to end
another spinoff coming out of there. Like they're doing another spinoff show. They're like doing Rick Grimes movies and.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man, it's time.
It's over, man. It's over.
Kill that shit.
It's been on. How long has it been on? Like 10 years.
Too damn long. Shoot that shit in the damn head, man. End this shit.
But
because I follow the comics and I already knew. I knew that by the time by the time the show was in its 4th or 5th season, I can't think. The Korean dude, he died.
Yeah.
Because Negan killed him. And I knew that shit was going to happen. And when that happened, I hated that it happened. He was one of my favorite characters, even though I don't know his name for some fucking reason. But I think they kept straying away from... They would stray away from the comics in a good way sometimes. And then they would stray away from it in a bad way. And with the Negan, when Negan killed Glenn. When he killed Glenn.
Glenn, that's what it was. I said Gil.
Gil and Morris. But when he killed Glenn,
I used to call some people used to call Gal from Street Fighter Gil, and I was like, "The fuck?"
That takes away all his power.
You got killed by Gil.
Gil.
But when Glenn got killed by Negan in the comics, that was it, and it was like a tit for tat type of killing.
All they caught up with the comics now are past it.
No, they would always change
the
things
comic
here
ended
and
now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
they're going.
I think they're going to keep going past it because, let me get back to it. When they killed Glenn in the comics, it was just Glenn. In the TV show, they killed Glenn, and then they killed Aaron, the big redhead dude.
I was pissed about that.
That's what got me pissed because I expected Glenn to die, so I was already preparing myself for that shit. They killed Aaron. Man, fuck, I'm out. I can't do this shit.
Well, all I wanted them to do was kill Rick's son, and they just kept waiting and waiting. That little bastard pissed me off, got on my nerves so bad.
He was a
kind of
dickhead.
annoying. So,
But in the comics, do you want to tell you guys what happened?
Yeah.
In the comics,
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
no, it's an older show. So,
Nah, this is for the comics. So,
yeah.
in the comics, like you know how the whole MO for Walking Dead is they're in tough times that they got to try to find the next paradise. They find that paradise. Rick, for some reason, doesn't like the way it's being run, so then he does his thing to switch it around to work in their favor. But this time it backfires, and one of the antagonists in this camp finds Rick once everything is settling down, and she shoots him. Excuse me.
Sick
She
bastard.
shoots. I know. She shoots him and leaves him for dead. So Carl comes home, and Carl comes home to a zombified Rick because Rick already bled out. He's dead. So Carl has to take him out. So Rick is dead in the comics.
Rick died before Carl did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And no, Carl is still alive.
I thought Carl got killed. That's why I was waiting for him to die in the show.
Nah, he's alive like a motherfucker with a big ass hole in his head. But it ends. Carl marries Sophia, I think. Yeah, he marries Sophia, Carol's girl. In the cartoon. In the TV show, she died. She's still alive in the comics. I think they have a marriage going on. I think they're having a kid or some kind of shit. Eugene ends up he helps set up a transcontinental railroad system to connect the East Coast and the West Coast. Michonne is, I think she's the president or a mayor or some kind of shit.
Damn.
And zombie attacks aren't a thing anymore. The only time you hear about people getting attacked by zombies is if people like in the wilderness and shit. But it shows like shots of like the town, and everything looks normal. People got cars and shit. It's just zombies are on the outside. So
they never have addressed the issue of where the sickness has come from. Never.
Well,
I mean,
creator said he was never going to explain how it
yeah, I
happened.
don't think I think this is gonna be the one mystery that's just, if you die, you're just gonna turn to a zombie.
Right.
So, but yeah, fuck Walking Dead.
Man, it's time for it to end. Everybody's just burnt out on it.
I'm
So,
over it.
I can, yeah. But I don't know how the hell we got from that.
I don't
But
know.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
watch Breaking Bad, just like Brett said. After like a few episodes, it is a bit of a ride. Just kind of stick with it, and then it really turns up. And then when they get hooked up with Gus Fring,
Right.
shit gets real wild, bro.
It's amazing to see what a nerdy, down-to-earth father he starts off as and what he ends up being at the end, like this ruthless drug lord kingpin. It's insane to see.
Because at first you root for him because he has this noble cause. He's trying to make this money because he's dying.
Right.
And he doesn't want to leave his family like in debt from all these hospital bills. And as the story progresses, you're like, no, this dude's really an asshole, and all this shit. Even like he could have had the money a long time ago. When he was part of a smaller group that was making money legitly.
Yeah.
And man, you just watch this shit. I don't want to spoil it for you, but
Well, I'll check it out.
by the end, you'll want this motherfucker to die. And then El Camino, the movie that's after
Is that a crazy movie?
man, that is a ride.
I'll check that out.
And have you seen El Camino?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in it.
You was?
I mean,
I liked it.
I did not like it, but I wanted more from it.
What's the dude's name? He kept on. He was the dude that killed the boy on the motorbike. I want to call him Tommy or Toby for some damn reason.
You're right close to it. What is it?
Fuck, what's the name? I don't know.
Todd?
Todd. That fucker. Jesus Christ. He got some problem. Watch the movie.
I'll watch it. Watch
Or
it.
watch the show, then watch the movie. Get
I'll
caught
watch
up.
it.
It's worth it.
Let's switch gears for a minute on something a little bit more serious that just came up in my mind. It's just random, you know how I do. This time of the year, I will admit to you guys that it's very hard for me because I don't know, I guess it's the holidays and the weather, and
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy, I need to be outside, I need to have the sun on me and whatever. I know a lot of people suffer from depression. I have in the past, but I'm still struggling with it somewhat here and there. It just depends on the time of year, what's going on. Mostly it's in the winter time. But I want to ask you, everybody has their ups and downs these days, but let me start with you guys first. How have you dealt with things as far as lows in your life that reminds you of certain things or time of the year, as far as how have you overcame them or you continue to struggle against them? I want to start with you, Brett. I want to mention first, I know I've known you for a few years, and I came in after I known you. Your father had died, and I know during certain times of year, I know you really get down. And if you don't want to talk about it, we're cool, but I just want to know how you continue to get better over the years and how you help yourself to rise above that and to get past a certain point to keep you going for the year.
No, that's cool. I don't mind talking about it. But
Okay.
yeah, when my dad died, he was the most important person in my life. We were extremely close. You know, like I said, I grew up in a house full of women, so me and my dad just clung to each other. So we really were best friends. And then watching him go through cancer and everything, that was really, really hard. But I tell you what, right after that happened, I got my dog, and that dog made every difference in the world, man.
We know.
You know,
Damn dog put me out. I was your best friend.
but like what he said, I've heard that actually helps.
Yeah.
Because not to say it's a bad thing, kind of like in a breakup,
Right.
Everybody finds that side piece, that rebound, and I don't want to make it sound like a dog is a rebound, but I think it's therapy. I heard it's the therapeutic, and it actually helps a lot.
It
But
really is.
what made you get a dog though? Like after, did someone suggest to you, hey, you need to get a dog maybe that'll help you get through whatever you've already been through?
No, I always had a dog growing up, and then I just always loved dogs. And then the places I was living before that, I wasn't allowed to have a dog at.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. A few years ago, I had a dog. Her name was Amy. She was a rescue dog, and I had her for a few years, and then she got real sick. She got cancer. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this dog trying to get her healthy again,
Yeah.
and then it just got to where there was nothing else I could do. I was being selfish trying to keep her alive. So I ended up having to put her down, and that was so hard that it took me a while to get over it. And then the places I moved to, I couldn't get a dog. And as soon as I moved into this one apartment, the girl I was dating at the time, I was like, I'm going to go look at this dog. She's like, you're not going to just look at a dog. I said, I'm not going to buy it. I'm just
There's
gonna,
no such thing as just going
just gonna go
to look
and
at a dog.
and then
I'm just looking.
I'm gonna think about it, take a couple of days, look at a couple other dogs. I went there, I picked up the dog. I said, let's go to the ATM.
And you knew that was a dog
Drove
for
straight-
you.
Yeah.
And it's
That was
helped
it.
you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's helped you like.
Especially like being single and dating,
Yeah.
those nights when you don't have anything going on, you're stuck at home. I'm happy to be at home, just sitting there with my dog watching TV or a
That's
movie.
what's up.
Because the thing is with pets is they're going to love you unconditionally. No matter if you're in good mood, bad mood, whatever's going on in your life, they're always going to be there, and that's therapeutic. And I myself, I need to get something because, you know, I come
It's a
home
big
to
commitment,
It,
and it
it
takes
is
a
a
lot
big
of money.
commitment. I guess I'm still afraid of that commitment part of taking care of an animal, which I want one, but it's just, soon maybe.
But you've seen what I've done. Like, I basically don't go out anymore because I just stay at home with my dog.
We know.
Well, you know that dog. It's the sweetest damn dog.
It
in the
is.
world.
It's
You're
a
the
good
only
dog.
person
Dog. It's a good
Yeah.
dog. It was.
You're
It's
the
been.
only
It's been.
person I've ever let babysit that dog before.
Yeah, the dog. He's a great dog.
Yeah.
And and if it's helped you, Brett, then fuck everybody else.
For real.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
It's all about you and getting yourself right and get your mind right. Whatever helps you to get past that hump. But
I do think it would be very beneficial to you, too, if you got one.
I don't know. You know what? I think I'm
Take
just.
the plunge.
I think for the most part right now, I'm a little hesitant and afraid. I'm still afraid for that, coming attached to something for right now. And I know I shouldn't be because I seen this help you, but I think eventually I've been really looking at having a pet so.
But that's like the worst fear in my life is of thinking that 8, 9 years down the road, because dogs don't. If you get past 10 years old, you're lucky. Usually.
I know, because I lost my kid's dog. What was my dog too? Mason, about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago, and he was 12, 13, Rottweiler. And when I was married, I raised most of him from puppy to about 9 or 10, and that's all I ever knew. It's like that was my dog. So when he passed, it affected me, it affected my kids, and it's like, do I want to go through that again right now?
The end is the worst. It's the worst. But think of all the years you have up until then.
That part. Good point.
See,
what about you, Black Opino?
You still got your dog?
Nah, man, Jet passed.
Oh
bro.
shit! I'm sorry, man.
It's been about, I want to say maybe a year or two now. Like, and it sucks because we were about to set up a trip to San Francisco. We were going to go to San Fran to see the sights, and then we're going to go to Fresno because my brother-in-law, you guys know him, he was getting married, and they were doing a wedding in Fresno. So the plan was we drop Jet off over at my dad's house. He'll watch my pup, and then we come back and everything's all good. He died that night when we dropped him off. And then my dad gave me a call, gave me the bad news, and I'm packing shit. I'm balling, packing up shit. And I got to keep a straight face for the kids.
He just died on his own, or did you have to put him down?
On his own.
Oof.
So we'll have... So I'm getting shit together. I'm fucking looking crazy. My eyes are fucking bawling. My wife comes downstairs because she hears me, and then she asks, and I told her. And then now we're both bawling, and then I told her, I was like, "Look, this whole trip, we just got to play it dumb for the kids, and then when they get home, we'll tell them what happened."
That's the best thing to do.
Because I didn't want to ruin it. That was their first time going to California, and I didn't want to ruin it with. Saying that the daughter that's all they known. Like, he was a month older than my daughter,
right?
And that's all she knew. And just to tell her that her best friend is gone, that was I felt like I was cheating her in a way.
Yeah.
But I did it for her, and we at our house, like we got like a makeshift shrine, if you want, like a picture of him. I had him cremated. That was another tough thing. I was trying to ask my dad if he can cremate him. He couldn't find out a way to do it. So he buried him in the backyard. I had to exhume him, take him to a cremation spot around town to do it, and it was tough, dude. I didn't want to hear shit from nobody.
But what was it that it actually died of, though? I'll have to tell you off because I know my kids want to try to listen. Okay,
and I don't want to break it to them like that.
Anyway, back on track.
So
sorry to bring up all this sadness, folks, but
to get it over, like to get over that hump,
the hump of
just sharing it with family, talking about it with friends that I could, even though I'm more of an introvert now. And I'm always, like, Brett's always trying to get me out to go fucking meet up at the arcade. And I'm like, I'm stuck in the house.
Yeah.
But that was part of a problem. But talking to, to family, that kind of helped. And I didn't want to get a new dog.
You feel like you're cheating.
Yeah. I felt like I was doing a disservice to my dog, Jet. And then we ended up, the kids kept asking, could they look at a dog? They just want a break.
There is no just looking
there's
at
a pet
a dog.
store. There's a pet store not too far from where we're at.
Right.
And they said, well, can we just go? Because they'll let you pet the puppies and play with the cats and all that. And they thought maybe that'll help. And then one day we walked out with a goddamn dog.
So
we adopted a dog, Meek. I call him from
Meek. That's awesome. I love that.
From
Thor.
Yeah, from Thor.
That's a third. I'm thinking Meek Mill.
Nah,
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Because I looked at him and he was squirming in my daughter's arms. I was like, damn, this motherfucker is squirming like Meek. I said, oop, that's it, Meek. So we adopted him, and I try to honor Jet by trying to treat him better than how I treated him. If that makes any sense,
right?
Because there's sometimes like any dog owner. Like a dog's gonna do some shit that's gonna piss you off. And sometimes when I look back at it, I say, man, I shouldn't have been so hard on him.
Because you already got other shit going on in your
Exactly.
head, and then you take it out on a dog unintentionally. You're like,
So-
oh, get away from me, or
Exactly.
something crazy. And you're like, man, I didn't mean that. And they still come to you.
They still come to
And
you.
it's like, oh, hey.
And when Jet passed, man, I felt like an asshole. So I promised my wife, I promised the kids, I said, you know what? The stuff that I would, when you guys thought I was being mean to him, like I'll pop him or whatever, I said, I'm not doing that shit this time. I'm gonna try to treat him better than I did Jet. And so far it's been working, and we still honor Jet. Like we light candles for him and everything.
Right.
And
Back to the subject at hand. I don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah.
but was that one of the low points in your life that you're still trying to get over?
that was
with?
one of the low
But
points.
how do you actually get past certain aspects, that low points in your life? You don't have to share them here. You can if you want to.
Yeah.
But how do you get past certain things that help you keep going day by day?
I just think about my kids, man.
That's what's up, man.
Because if my kids see how I feel about it, and it might sound like super macho or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But if I feel like if my kids can't see that I can hold it together, then how the hell are they going to hold it together when shit gets real rough?
That's true.
So I got
That's
to kind
real,
of keep
bro.
it together for myself, for them.
That's
So
real talk.
That's usually how I do
But
it.
I've never really seen you in a pissed off mood, except when our old supervisor used to get at your ass all
Yeah,
the time.
unless you're
Anyway,
an old supervisor, that's on.
That's why I miss having Ira around. We're
Yeah,
all
but-
losing our minds and want to kill somebody. Ira's always sitting there with a smile and says something to make you laugh.
Goofing off, saying
Yeah.
some stupid shit.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting to know about
Yeah.
you guys too. It's like I was saying before. For me, it's just being outside, the sun, and then
Good
dealing
luck
with
here.
people, and just I don't know. I need that. I need to be active and moving all the
Yeah.
time, and then this weather, it's raining, it's
Shitty
cold,
weather.
and then I do get lonely. And sometimes you just want somebody to cuddle with, and
It's
you don't have no
cuddle
one to
season,
cuddle. It is cuddle season. And it's just like, and for me, I go to the gym. I have to get in the gym. I have to just keep my mind busy and doing something, because I'll just lay there and beat myself up. I don't have this. I don't have that. Why don't I have somebody by now to kick it with? Why can't I find someone? Why am I feeling down? And just like, you got to snap yourself out of it, because at one point, I got so low that I never want to get there again.
Yeah.
And I promised myself I would. And I feel myself, and to be honest with you, I felt myself going there in the past couple of weeks. No one knows this,
Yeah.
because you keep all that shit hidden, and you post the best of your best on Instagram. And it was like, oh, you doing this, you got your life together. No, You don't know what really goes on behind the scene. When someone, hey, let's go out and kick it. You're trying to kick it with a female, she cancels on you. Little shit like that affects me, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Y'all think I'm just hardcore, going here and there, doing that, not giving a damn. Yeah. It's just like little stuff like that affects me. And it's like, damn, why can't I find, what I'm looking for, or why I'm not feeling this way? But I've taught myself to snap out of it. I have to do something so I do not get to that low point where I was 6 or 7 years ago,
Yeah.
where I don't want to go back there again. So that's
I mean-
how I look at it. It's mental.
And for people who can't find a way to snap out of it, I mean, you might talk to friends,
Friends and family help.
like in those who work. There's benefits, job benefits actually help out with like mental health stuff,
Right. So
like to pay for therapy and all that kind of stuff. So
and it's nothing, to laugh at or scoff at, because everybody has their mental ups and downs.
Yeah.
And for me, I talk to people, or I think one of the worst things you can do is shut down completely.
yeah, and I think it's because when people talk about mental health now,
Yeah.
back like before, people is like, oh, mental health, oh, this motherfucker is just crazy.
Right.
He's fucking scribbling shit on his walls. He's talking to himself. It's not a stereotypical thing like that. It's just some shit that people go through, and they just have a hard time getting over that hump.
And some people deal with it differently. Like some people, they shut everybody down, or they overeat.
Mm-hmm.
They I don't know what else.
Why you look at me when you said that?
Well, have you ever thought about therapy?
I've
Seeing
been
a
to therapy
psychiatrist?
before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
and
it help?
yeah, it helped, but it that was years ago. It helped, but I don't feel like that I want to go back and do that again because it made me. I think I seen the other people around me what they were going through, and it did help in this aspect as far as, damn, I'm not so bad off at it. I think so.
So was it a group therapy type thing or a one-on-one?
Yeah, it was kind of group, and
Let's
then
try the one-on-one, man.
and then
That's-
the one-on-one. It's like, but the whole thing about it is, every year I notice myself getting better and better, but it still comes and goes in waves. So I feel so much better about it, and I feel so much better as far as getting myself out of that little slump. It's just,
Well, it's they make it a lot easier these days. I mean, there's services where
Yeah.
you can call on the phone and have a therapy session.
Yeah,
It's
I've heard of that.
affordable now too.
yeah. And then
I
our
heard about
job offers therapy sessions. So,
So if you see yourself getting back to that place, you might want to.
no, I
But
don't
you
want
know,
to go there.
you
I
can always
always
talk to
got,
us too.
I talk to you guys. If I'm venting, I talk to you. You guys really help, so I appreciate that. But I just want to bring that up.
I mean,
As
but Brett
everybody
made
has their
he kind of made a good point. It's like surround yourself with people that's going to help bring you up.
right.
Like and I used to hang around with before I met you guys. I used to know people that was like coworkers that would just down in dumps constantly, and they probably unintentionally, but they would just try to drag you down with them.
Right.
So if you can kind of find
Somebody,
people,
me and you know, like
Yeah, you can't surround yourself with people that are always dragging. They're always a drag and complaining about life. Yeah, life sucks. It fucking sucks.
that's what I had to do. This one guy was bringing me down, always, talking shit, bringing me into a negative headspace. I had to just cut him out.
And what you do, you can cut them out, or you can like limit your time with them.
That's
because
basically what I
yeah,
did.
because you can actually see them go in a certain direction. You're like, oh, okay, I'm done talking to you. So, we hope this helps out people. This show is about leveling up your life and different aspects and problems that we run into, and hopefully you guys, people that are listening, can get to another level as far as in life to figure out where they want to go, help themselves, and show our vulnerability. So we're not perfect. We still have our problems.
Speak for yourself.
I know, right?
Don't bring me into your world.
But I just want to bring up that subject. I thought it was interesting,
All right, so
something different. So,
So to kind of change subject.
all right, let's change.
Have you guys heard? You guys know the R&B dude Akon,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
the convict
his-
music dude.
his-
This motherfucker started like his own Wakanda.
I saw that.
What? I hadn't
Yeah,
heard
he's
this.
got Akon City.
Yeah,
No
it's-
shit.
Akon,
Yeah,
like,
look it up, bro.
It's a West African country called Senegal, and he's set up with the government. He's been talking to the government, and they're actually setting up Akon City, and it's not like they're starting production now and they're gonna start building shit. He said it's gonna be like a 10-year just to start it up, but whatever. He's
So
like,
there's not like people already living there.
there's not people living there.
I saw that
They're
on
actually
the
planning. It's
news.
like a 10-year plan. They're trying to get the infrastructure, and it's legit.
That's the first thing I thought of was Wakanda.
And yeah,
It's
when I
like-
saw it, I was
it's
like,
man, his own city.
when I was looking at it was on Twitter, and there was a picture of Akon with his hands up, like yeah, and then behind him was like the city of Wakanda. I was like, that's
Really?
so what the fuck is going? Is he in Black Panther too? And then I click on it, and he started up his own city in this West African country, and he's even doing like his own cryptocurrency, like that he's partnering with the country in this
So
city.
he's getting money from other places to help with this.
I'm pretty sure he is, but he's rich as shit anyway. So
but not like start
He's
your
not-
own city.
yeah, he's not start your own
But
city
he's,
rich.
he's for a while in the years past, he's helped bring water to Africa,
Yeah.
and clean water. He's been doing a lot because his music. He stopped doing music for a while, hadn't he? Or he's been quiet about it.
He's been quiet about
But because he's been working behind the scene for years to get Africa in a certain spot the way he wants it to be.
That's a hell
And
of a
then-
level up.
Yeah, he
Victor
leveled
Van
up
City.
when then they say Akon City. It's like, golly,
was like, what?
I see you, Akon.
Convict music. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck?"
I forgot about that. Good point.
But
Good- good.
that's some dope shit.
Shout out to Akon on that. So
Send me some cryptocurrency, some
Well,
Wakanda bucks.
We're about an hour in, and I think y'all about to wrap this up a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
good with it.
Yeah, we're good. We want to thank my man Brett, the Walker IMBD, for filling in for Sir Esters. You want to shout out your Instagram one more time?
It's still Brett13, still BRETT 13.
All right. You want to say anything else before we get out of here?
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Ooh, simple.
Yeah,
I like
we
that.
need some more Brett.
I know. Black Apino J.
Catch me on Instagram and Twitter at BlackApinoJ. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I guess I'll do the word of the day, or since Sir Esters out. So that's
globetrotting. Like a rich person.
This is MLK weekend, so this is a quote by him, and it says, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." So, great quote by the man himself.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up. Thank everybody for listening to us and supporting us, and I think that's it. So you either gonna level up or shut up,
Bitch.